Welcome everyone to Clash Royale League Asia Season 2. We're here for the last day of our conference division. It's been a long run we've been having through. My name is Joe Sophie, and also joining with me is going to be Simon. And like what you say, I mean, it's been many weeks that we had cross-regional competition now for Clash Royale League Asia, and it is up to a halt here with the last 2 matches to decide who is the better region between Southeast Asia and Japan.
Yeah, and these 2 matches are amazing matches. They're going to be some of the best Clash Royale we're going to see. We're going to have Bren Esports, currently joint number 1 in the SEA region, against PONOS Sports, number 1 pretty much everywhere. Yeah. And then it's Chaos Theory, who are joint number 1 in SEA,
they're number 1. Against
Fav Gaming, who yesterday were number 2 in the Japanese region. Today they sit at 3rd because GameWith have 1 extra game over them.
So they do have that placement they need to recover from. They can get it right back with 1 more win for Fav Gaming. That should get them very close to, or if not, get at least the 2nd place where they're all looking for. But PONOS right now, as you do say, they're just too far away from the rest of the competition. They're looking so fantastic. And even against the top side of Bren Esports, where we do see them at 7-3, just a little bit behind Chaos Theory, just because of the head-to-head matchup, and that is the reason why they're falling behind Chaos at the moment. But PONOS is the only team with 8 wins so far, and that's with 1 less games played basically than everybody else.
Yeah, they're just dominating pretty much everyone in Clash Royale League Asia, but they are not gods. They do bleed. They have lost to GameWith, and they have lost to Kingzone Dragon X. So, I mean, it is possible they will lose today to Bren Esports. They are not invincible.
Well, if this holds true in terms of PONOS winning out against Bren Esports, which will be the last time they fight against a team that is from a different region, that means that PONOS Sports would have beaten every single team from Southeast Asia and have never dropped a single match here, because that will be a very impressive format to be looking at here. Because today's matchup, it will bring Bren Esports to see, as you do say, another blood shed from PONOS Sports. Can they do it though? They are looking like one of the best teams right now from Southeast Asia, but them and Chaos Theory, they have some really big workout to do for them to face up against PONOS and Fav today.
Yeah, Bren Esports have arguably one of the better 2v2 sides. I think the only people who we can clearly say is better is Mati and Dios Stitch, right? Yeah. Untouchable combination there. But Bren Esports, No Aim Sai, and Jai, they have played some incredible 2v2 sets and have just been absolutely solid for Bren Esports.
I mean, Bren Esports has been figuring things out in terms of who to send out exactly for those 2v2 sets once they do come up, and especially the early season, they've been mixing around quite a bit with different rosters out there, but here they are with Giant No Aim Sai and really sticking to these guys to say that this is a 2v2 that we're going to go with for the rest of the season, and it's been working out for them.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at the list of games. They only played 2 games without No Aim Sai and Jai, and they lost both of them. Oh no, they lost 1 and won 1. That was Chief Glenn and Manny Knoxville.
Yeah,
they
back
lost,
in the day.
Yeah, way back, week 1, week 2. They lost to AHQ and Kicks, and they beat Kicks.
Right. So you'll see that Giant No Aim Sai has been very solid and consistent for their run in the 2v2 in the recent weeks, but it's basically their toughest opponent yet, with Mikanbuya and Tenga literally looking invincible, and even the likes of Martin and Dios Stitch, who is looking like possibly the best 2v2 right now in terms of that duo in this Clash Royale League Asia. I would have to say that Mikanbuya and Tenga is a little bit stronger for the ways they've won games, just beyond the fact that they've won. It's the way they dominate their opponents week in and week out, and it goes to show you that probably Giant No Aim Sai, they have to work quite a bit to get the win today.
Yeah, Mikanbuya and Tengod, I mean, 8-2 in terms... Oh, he played some with Reiki Jones. I'm miscounting here, but it's 5-2 then. Let's say 5-2 between these 2 players. That's some incredible win rates. 12-5 in terms of games.
Well, you saw that Bren Esports was extremely excited about their fight that will happen between them and Mikanbuya Tengod. Team profile for PONOS Sports here, 2v2. It's been unchanged for quite a bit now. Mikanbuya and Tenga solidifying that roster for the duos, and we're going to have Rocky Jones back in the roster. That's a little bit interesting in terms of Royale League playing very well in the recent matchup, but still going to have Rocky Jones to fill in and see how he does in the 1v1 today.
Yeah, Rocky Jones is not really a step down from Royale League. It's like the whole of PONOS Sports is just solid from base to ceiling. They're just untouchable in terms of depth.
See if this really turns out to be another versatility turning out to good favor for PONOS Sports, bringing Rocky Jones down. He hasn't played for a long time now, and he has been really in the bench and not even be that forward player for a lot of these games recently for PONOS Sports. And Royale League is going to be that forward player with Trainer Ken there as well. So for basically Bren Esports, this has been the staple roster for these guys for the longest of time now. Giant Noim Sai and the 2v2 with Manong GP just having a lot of success in that 1v1, and Trainer Ken coming out when needed for that King of the Hill.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, they've been getting results week in, week out with Noim Sai and Jai. So maybe it's going to happen again. Maybe they can get a result here. I know that earlier on you were like, I'm not sure. PONOS Sports are ridiculously strong. But I still think Bren Esports have a chance here. And if they do win this, they do put a little bit of distance between themselves and AHQ.
Yeah, AHQ did lose both their games yesterday, which was a tragedy in itself, but understandable tragedy because they did go up against some of the toughest teams we know in the entire league with GameWith and PONOS Sports. So losing out to both the teams is a little bit understandable, but still, we do have to acknowledge the fact that this is a bad situation for AHQ, where, as you do say, if Bren does win out, that is going to put the distance on between them and AHQ. So we'll see if PONOS Sports brings out the goods once again and just brings us the usual suspects of the results being them picking up the win once again.
Yeah, but we are into match 1, set 1, game 1 between Bren Esports, Giant No Aim Sai in blue at the bottom, and PONOS Sports in red at the top with Mikamboya and Tengar. And we see this miner come down.
The miner very much accustomed to when we're seeing these guys play. Mikamboya Tengar really likes to make those plays happen. And we can see the Southeast Asian classic here with the Royal Giant and the Giant Skeleton now. The bats are coming in to slow down Royal Giant, but this poison that's going to be happening around, it's going to be an offensive poison. So lots of elixirs used just to get this one pushed down. It's going to get it down to 18-10. Was it all worth it?
I think it was, because everything that was there in defense for PONOS Sports just died to the Giant Skeleton Bomb. I mean, it looks like a fair trade on the surface.
We'll see. And of course, no counterattack coming on the opposite direction, meaning that Ewiz is also going to go down pretty soon here too. The Infernal Dragon just starting out to the Princess Tower, but this Fireball is now going towards this Magic Archer. Does get the hit, and gonna bring the tower further down to 1609. This Ice Wiz is here for the Infernal Dragon, and Valkyrie and the Dark Prince is now making its way forward.
Yeah, after those massive pushes, it looks like Bren Esports kind of want to pull up a bit of elixir, so they're playing a lot slower, but we will see that explosive push come relatively soon. It has to come soon, because that is their win condition.
We'll see if that's a good situation for them, but 1609 still untouched after the last effort with the Fireball. But all the more, we will see this Mega Minion get one swipe on the left, but
Two swipes on the left.
Yeah, but it's really important to see that the Magic Archer got some penetration damage through those units out there, and Ewiz will get rid of it, but you can see the Royal Giant once again right at the bridge and see what it can do. But we see the Infernal Tower, and that's not a good situation.
Yeah, but that miner in the back going to town, letting the Royal Giant tank everything up, so it's doing absolutely immense amount of damage up there.
Kind of absolutely just ignoring it, just trying to go for 2 crowns might be the scenario if you are Mikamboya and Tengar. You thought and then Mikamboya and Tengar would not be touched in this matchup, but still seemingly going down in a hurry here, because look at this, 6-5 on the right side. They're going to bring the Royal Giant once again, and see if this match connects here, because all the more it seems like this couple of hits should be good enough to get the game.
He is going to connect, and the poison there as well does clean it up. Will that miner from PONOS Sports be able to equalize, or at least put that tower into spell damage range? It is. 3, 4, 6 remain, so they just need 2 fireballs, or the miner and a log will do it if they can get enough damage through. The Electro Wizard comes down to reset. The poison is there. That tower
6 seconds.
is gonna die. There we go. So we see the Giant Skeleton push on the left-hand side from Bren Esports. Will they be able to get damage done here?
we'll look at it now, and this Giant Skeleton that will now explode with the death damage will affect all these units from coming forward here, and the Infernal Dragon will also die now as well. So all of a sudden, we do see Mikenboya and Tengod in the lead at the moment in terms of damage, and this poison with the miner will go down once again. Look at the penetration damage. That is going to get a lot of damage done, and just going to pull it back with the log, but still does enough damage to kind of put the cautionaries onto Giant and Noim's side, who are now incredibly behind. 1934 they have to put out. Now they have to go against a counterattack that will be coming from the other end.
Yeah, that counterattack shut down by the Giant Skeleton Bomb. That is the strength of this push, because if that Royal Skeleton dies, it takes everything with it.
Right at the pocket here, this Giant Skeleton.
The two miners from PONOS Sports. Will they be able to take this tower down? They're getting it. 4-2-2 with the poison damage. So one more poison, that should be enough.
Double poison, and I think that should be enough here, Simon. And we're going to see if this becomes the case. The Royal Giant trying to come in rushedly, but it's not going to happen from the pocket. And Giant Noim's side kind of was in the lead for the earliest of games, but the more and more it progressed to the late game, the double elixir well manufactured by the side of PONOS Sports.
Yeah, it's nice to see Bren Esports bring out that deck again, because since the balance update, we haven't really seen SEA teams use that deck that much. And we saw here, it still works. It's still great when it's in the hands of people who fully understand the deck.
But it does not bring them the win. And that's why you have to kind of wonder as to how effective that actually was, because you know, the Giant Skeleton was effective on both ends. The death damage really getting all these mega pushes out the way, just explosive death to death. But it does bring a kind of a question to a mark where, you know, we saw a tower getting called down from PONOS with the push that was coming from Bren Esports, but it did not give them the win. So we'll see what happens in this game two to see what happens.
Yeah, game two is a classic clash of the archetypes, as we have the Lava Hound and Inferno Dragon going up the left for Bren Esports, and the Golem, Prince, and the Mega Minion going down that right side for PONOS Sports. What's going to get the damage done here? Well,
the Lava Hound and the Inferno Dragon did not get even near the tower, and this Golem will reach the tower as it explodes, so a couple hundred damage right there, and the Golem is just getting a little bit mini punches right there, and that should be good enough for 2063 on the right side. But look at this on the left. It's getting stopped by the E-Wiz, but really just a Lava Hound coming from the right side will reach the tower though.
Yeah, and a miner in the back. If he's not answered, oh my goodness, this is a lot of damage.
Flying Machine, Flying Machine.
They had to poison there to kill the pups, but that miner is still healthy. The Flying Machine did get quite a few hits off too. 4-6-6 on that top right-hand side tower. My goodness, what a push.
It was that miner and the Flying Machine just literally left alone, and once you leave that miner to tank out, it's not going to be a very good situation for PONOS, and it takes that immense amount of damage. And 466 already onto the right tower. We'll see what happens on the counter.
Yeah, so Bren Esports loading up with that with the Lava Hound on the left-hand side.
The Dark Prince went in the other direction. That's a huge mistake, and we see that Tenka maybe was the one to make that mistake, and Mikenboya just telling him to calm down. Just forget about that mistake, just move on with this play that will now be coming up. Double Mega Minion is seemingly the answer. You're going to see a great value poison from Bren Esports to get that down. And now look at this, that Lava Puffs now will do a little bit of damage, and we're going to see a couple of damage coming from the miner, but it will be stopped by the Prince. And take it slow for now, and we'll see what happens here, because this fireball looking pretty good. The lightning will be coming off as well, so now we're going to see this Lava Hound once again putting more damage onto the left side. The Prince does not connect onto the bottom side, and that will be just the Dark Prince just tanking it out for these Lava Puffs. But Flying Machine is going to help out, destroy out this Dark Prince coming in from the left side, but the miner looking to finish off the right.
Yeah, it looks like PONOS Sports is just going to give up that tower. They need something here. And interestingly, Bren Esports decided to throw a second miner up that side. They really didn't need to do that. They could have, you know, focused on the left-hand side and got a bit more damage there.
Might be a scenario where it doesn't matter here. 10 seconds doesn't seem fast enough for the golden push to reach the other side. 2,000 damage just seems too far away. And PONOS Sports, after winning game one with a couple of mistakes, will lose out to game number 2.
Yeah, and you can see that Mikenboya is that kind of... This is why he's so good, actually. He, in the middle of the heat of the battle, he's just like, okay, don't worry about it. If we lose, we lose. I just keep going. And that's what you need. That is the experience this man has. In the middle of a game is just telling his colleague, chill. It's all right. People make mistakes. I don't make mistakes. I'm a god. But you're human. You're allowed to make mistakes.
Well, I mean, the leadership is definitely there. That's what you're trying to say, because as the player coach in his role, even during the game, he's coaching his players, and really just saying that whenever things go wrong, just take it down. You can see that from his hand motions, just kind of waving it back and forth, saying, "Thank God, just chill out. We'll worry about the next one." And they are in the next one. Game 3, very much underway here in Giant No Aim side. Looking to win this one. Can they, though? This 2v2 squad of Mikenboya and Tengon has been looking almost invincible for this entire season. We'll see if this continues.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games, because we get kind of a rematch from the last game. We see the Lava Hound and the Inferno Dragon going up that left-hand side. The Inferno Dragon from PONOS Sports is there to answer the Lava Hound.
It's going to be the game 1 deck from Mikenboya and Tengon. And we are seeing the Magic Archer. We are seeing probably going to be the Giant Skeleton defense in this scenario here, but we will find out soon enough. And good defense coming with that Magic Archer in the end. Giant Skeleton right to bridge on the right side now with the Miners. So this has worked out for them in game number 1. We'll see if this continues in game number 3.
Yeah, Zap is this time as well, though. Interesting choice here. Just going to lock everything down. How are they going to be able to deal with this? There's a Fireball, takes out 2 of the Zappies. The Miner on the tower. Going to get decent hits.
The one little zappy at the end, that's going to do a lot of damage, just resetting the tower every single time, doing 70 HP damage each time it gets a zap, and that's going to bring it down to 1278. A really big hit taken by Bren Esports there.
Yeah, Bren Esports have not done any significant damage to PONOS Sports, so it is all on their shoulders to be able to do this right now. We see the Ice Wizard from PONOS Sports played at the back, and there's an Inferno Tower.
Absolute disaster. You do not want that if you are Bren Esports on this one. This fire, all of these that's melting things down. Even the guard just holding up the damage for this Mega Minion that is going to be coming through. Another Giant Skeleton putting up the pressure now. And this Miner will not have any answers for it other than the Flying Machine. It will take quite a bit to take this down.
Yeah, it almost seems as though PONOS Sports recognized that Bren Esports would bring the same deck again, because that's what they do. They win with a deck and they bring it again, and they've just packed counters. They've packed the Inferno Dragon. They've packed the Inferno Tower.
Look at this. I mean, the Inferno Tower, Inferno Dragon, none of it's banned, so gives you multiple choices to melt down as many Lava Hounds as needed here, because it seems like this Mega Minion, once again, will not get a touch onto anything. The first Lava Hound melted down. The second one probably on its way very soon here, but no significant support units coming in from Bren Esports. That's going to make it very difficult for them to do a lot of damage, not just by these Lava Puds. It's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and the Flying Machine and guards are only going to be able to slow down the one Miner.
That's it.
As the Miner in the back just slowly chips away at the tower. There we go. Giant No Aim side
defeated.
Go down to Mikenboya and Tengon.
Now, we somewhat expected this with how good Mikenboya and Tengon has been all season long, but that game 2 did startle us just a little bit. Maybe that miracle was there for Bren Esports to come through in that game 3, but it's the usual story, and it's a usual ending to that story, and we are going to get the PONOS Sports win on this set number 1.
Yeah, I really do think that Mikenboya and Tengon researched their opponents enough that they knew the chances of Giant No Aim side bringing back the deck that they won with in game 2 was very high. So then they pack in the Inferno Dragon and Inferno Tower. You wouldn't do that if you didn't know your opponent was going to be bringing a Lava Hound deck.
I mean, just quick adaptations there from the side of PONOS Sports, because even that game 1 deck, it was a very heavy deck with the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant obviously not working out. And game 2, bringing out that Lava Loon deck kind of shows that maybe they're going to bring another heavy deck. And do say maybe the research that went through that process to say that, you know, if they win a certain game with a certain deck, they will bring it out in the next game. So good plays by PONOS Sports inside it and outside the game as well. So we'll see how this really affects the 1v1 here. Manong GP has been the hero for Bren Esports for many of these series now. But can he do it again, though, this time against Raiki Jones?
Yeah, he is their main hero in King of the Hill, but his 1v1 record is not as strong. 3 wins and 5 losses. It's a bit rough
And of course he needs that 1v1 record right now, because if he loses, he will not get to the King of the Hill, where he can be that late time hero as he always been.
Yeah, and we see Reiki Jones coming in from PONOS Sports, 1-1. Hasn't played many 1v1 games, but he's still just one of those players that we just like to see.
And you know, the pressure is on Reiki Jones now. He needs to win this 1v1 so that the King of the Hill beast that is Manong GP does not form into life. And you want to keep him at bay when it's the set 2, because once you get into set 3, that's when he really decides to just transcend into another level. So Manong GP, when he's at his weakest, that is going to be the set 2 in this 1v1. So Reiki Jones has a little bit of a challenge for him, not having played too many 1v1s this season. He's going to be back at it again to see what he can do.
Yeah, but that can really work in his favor, as Bren Esports don't have much to research. Manong GP, we know what he plays. He plays Royal Ghost. He likes that card.
He does play the Royal Ghost, and it will be surprising if he doesn't have the Royal Ghost. We're going to see the Valkyrie, so maybe the Manong GP did not have the Royal Ghost in cycle. I'm sure he has it in his deck. I think he's about 100% play rate on that one.
Hogs go down the other side. That's where you want the Valkyrie, not against the Royal Ghost. The skeletons come out, the log is there, and the minions to try and clean it up, but decent amount of damage for Reiki Jones there.
See this Magic Archer do a very good job. It's also going to target at the Valkyrie, so very, very nicely done, only allowing one swipe from the Valkyrie, and that Lava Hound could not be at the worst timing. And we're gonna see the 7 Elixir literally just watching over Skyscraper as his tower goes down on the right side.
Yeah, it's a blimp right now, having the aerial view of everything. The tower just went down, and that is very unfortunate for Manong GP. It's not anybody's fault. That happens all the time. But he should have realized that maybe it wasn't the time for the Lava.
Well, I mean...
Well, we said that. Look at this.
There's another blimp that will get the tower down. We'll get the second drop, so... Reiki Jones, despite the advantage that he's gotten from that mistake from Manong GP, he just literally puts it right back to even.
Yeah, couldn't defend that Lava Hound and the balloon push there. Maybe he should have saved a little bit of elixir that he used to take the tower and try to use that on the defense, but it just didn't work. And we see P.E.K.K.A. come out. We see the Lava Hound play to the back from Manong GP. That is the perfect timing for the Lava Hound.
You see the Tombstone is going to just put a hesitance on this P.E.K.K.A. Going to have to get a few swipes before it starts moving on. This log will be here right in time just to get the damage onto the skeletons and also the Tombstone. Now, you see a Magic Archer right at the bridge, at the pocket here, and you don't really want to send that if you have the Valkyrie back in stock here. And we're going to see this Ewis put the damage on, but what's here from the side of this Royal Ghost Fam coming in? But now we're going to see 729 onto the left side, and a big push coming in once again from Manong GP with the Lava Hound.
And there's the Hogs. This time he has the Valkyrie for the answer. So it's going to go down, doing next to no damage there. The Ewis and the Rascal Girls with the Magic Archer trying to take down that Lava Hound, but it's just going to pile right through. Fireball comes in, that time pushes the balloon back with the Magic Archer. The Magic Archer actually targets the Valkyrie. The balloon is getting very close to that tower. Is it going to get a drop? No,
what?
Just out. The
what?
Ewis.
That out, I thought it was surely going to be a drop there, but we're going to see this P.E.K.K.A. being ruled away by this Tombstone, but we know the prediction is there with this Royal Ghost and the log, so this Valkyrie will get out pretty soon. It's going to force a lot of units defensively, but look at his penetration coming from the Magic Archer and will do a lot of damage. 1638 now. 1401, can he really defend against this, or he's just going to take the damage here?
Well, there. Oh, this is dangerous. The Royal Hogs get fireballed. He has to use the graveyard, but I think one of the Rascal Girls was actually targeting the tower as well. 962 on that bottom left-hand tower against 1317. He has to make this Lava Hound push work right now.
Yeah, if this doesn't work out, this is going to be the end of the game for Manong GP. There's not going to be any counter deck opportunities. And we're going to see this balloon here, the second blimp in the cycle, wanting to make something happen here. Fireball should be available soon, but doesn't use it until now. But still,
that tower is down, surely.
Oh, that's it. That's
it.
Game.
It's game. Manong GP making the balloons work every time they were played that time. Oh my goodness.
I feel like I've seen this from Reiki Jones, where he gets the early tower, then he's too much at ease.
He becomes complacent.
He does that a couple of times when he's in that 1v1 set. He gets a surprisingly fast turret on one end, and he just kind of gets too relaxed. And we see him lose towers right after that, and it seems like it happens again here.
Yeah, I think he overcommitted in the push that took the tower. And I think that cost him, because then he had no elixir to defend the Lava Hound that was already coming through. And he saw that come through, and he had that chance to take the tower. He took the tower, but I think ever so slightly he committed a little bit too much elixir.
And you can do that in a 2v2 environment where he's more comfortable in with his boss, with Mick and Booyah, but he's all alone here. It means that he needs to conserve some elixirs for various uses out in the field, and you can see the bats come in, and maybe a Hog Rider, maybe a Miner. We don't know what's coming in from Mainland China. Of course, the Royal Ghost, as we expected.
Yeah, that seems to be his favorite card. Nearly every deck he has revolves around this card in some regard. The last deck didn't, and I think that's what caught Raiki Jones off guard. Also, the fact that he had a balloon in his face.
We're going to see a Magic Archer survive that Fireball, so Mainland GP did not have the range to go for that one altogether. We're going to see the Mega Knight, so adaptation all the more. But
the penetration coming through. The Magic Archer gets quite a few hits there. 1877 on the tower, and there is a P.E.K.K.A.
Oh, P.E.K.K.A, you do not want to see a P.E.K.K.A if you are playing the Mega Knight, and with 3 swipes with the help of the Princess Tower will go down with the Mega Knight, and this P.E.K.K.A now rushing in. Sure, it's not going to be any pressure. He probably has infinite ways to prevent that from coming through. But we're going to have the Magic Archer go up against these bats, and this Royal Ghost now connecting on the right side. We'll see what happens here, because this Mega Minion will take care of the Magic Archer once again.
Yeah, that P.E.K.K.A got very, very close to the tower. Of course, it got shut down by the E-Wiz, but you know, there's that little piece of you that's just like, oh my god, it's right next to the tower. Didn't quite get it this time.
Not this time around.
Decent damage on that Royal Ghost on the right-hand side, though. 1886, suddenly bringing everything equal.
Just leave it right open, and we'll get a couple of swipes through, and 3 swipes equal 1866 on your Conan Standard Tower. And we're not going to be probably looking towards Manong GP defending the left side, but might just have to counter on the right side here, because that's where he has most of the damage done already. But you can see this P.E.K.K.A traveling through. This E-Wiz will eventually die out to the tower, and Mega Knight summon naked right from the back of the King Star. See what he can charge into.
Yeah, interesting that he played that there. I'd have thought that he would have played something else. Uses the Royal Ghost and the bats to defend against the Hog. And this time the Mega Knight and the Mega Minion combine their powers to create the Mega Sword, which took out the P.E.K.K.A.
See this. Mega Knight goes down. See the Royal Ghost go down the right side. 1454 to the right side for basically both of these players, but looking at this P.E.K.K.A on the right side, left side.
Oh my goodness, where did that balloon come from? How does that fit into this deck? That is crazy. And the Royal Ghost is actually tanking perfectly for that balloon. You are joking me.
Gosh.
Manong GP, you are ridiculous, my friend.
Hiding that balloon until the end of the game. The balloon does not fit that deck, but it worked.
You'd have asked me, looking at that, what would have been the last card there? Pretty much anything but the balloon.
Wow.
How do you fit that in? How are you this good, Manong GP? Seriously.
Raiki Jones, man, he's having a tough time against the balloon today.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to be able to handle it very well. And I mean, he just took way too much damage. And that last balloon came out of nowhere. You cannot fault him for not defending that, because you look at what Manong GP had. You do not consider the balloon in that last slot.
Balloon and the bats was the last play by Manong GP, and it worked out. And we're going to go to King of the Hills, kind of wondering what's going to happen from all this. Now, all of a sudden, Bren Esports has a chance to beat PONOS Sports.
Yeah, and can Manong GP take on Mick and Booyah?
Oh, Mick and Booyah. I don't think we've seen Mick and Booyah play a 1v1 in a very long time here, Simon.
Just taking a look. Mick and Booyah played against AHQ. Oh, no, that was 2v2. 1v1, Expo Master was the last time he lost, and then he all-killed Chaos Theory.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
I think it was a very long time ago. Yeah, it was a very long time ago. But what I can say is Manong GP is the only person to have 2 full clean sweeps of his opponent.
Well, he's going to be back as the 3rd player in the lineup. Mika Buya, the big dog, is going to be the 3rd player as well. Roller Peron is going to be the 2nd player, so not having Tengon in the roster. They're going to put him as the bench warmer, as we're going to have Roller Peron be the 2nd player with Raiki Jones be that 1st player up. So Trainer Ken, he's here. He's been very impressive with the King of the Hills, losing some matches, but he won the important ones, were the ones that mattered in. 3 wins and 3 losses so far in terms of the King of the Hill record for him so far.
Yeah, he's lost to Benza Riddell, Shaden Smooky, and Yuhiro, but has beaten Amaterasu, Biva, and Selo. And Raiki Jones, his 1 King of the Hill comes as a loss to Expo Master, when Expo Master just slayed PONOS Sports in the King of the Hill. He did actually have 1 win and 1 loss removed due to the regame. He did beat Yuhiro and lost to KK.
Well, I mean, we're gonna see if this becomes a scenario where PONOS Sports has what it takes to beat up Bren Esports, who are feeling incredibly confident. You can see from their smiles that they're ready to win. They're not here to lose. They're here to say that we can beat this best team, so to be called, in this Clash Royale League Asia, with PONOS Sports currently having the best record in the league so far, all regions combined, and we'll still do well to see what we're gonna get from these guys.
Yeah, when you have a serial killer named Manong GP in your team, you can feel very confident going into King of the Hill, because you're like, if I lose, he'll carry us. Don't worry about it. This guy doesn't lose in King of the Hill.
So it becomes the scenario once again, because we're all looking at Raiki Jones, who seems to be a little bit nervous after taking that loss, which got them into this situation in the first place. If he had won in that set 2 to 1v1, he definitely would not have to be in the standings once again. But Trainer Ken, here for the first time as the 4th player in the lineup, will be going once again Raiki Jones back in the lineup.
Yeah, Pekka banned out for PONOS Sports, and Elixir Collector banned out for Bren Esports. Banning out that E-Collector again here, very interesting choice, because Manong GP banned that last time.
Really did, and we'll see if this one comes out of this one. Royal Ghost is here for this Magic Archer. We'll probably just die out. Make it very, very easy. And the Royal Ghost swipes each other, and 1 more hit won't do it. You can see the log putting the first damage of this game. This Royal Ghost is going to allow the first hit of its game in. Go towards 2102. Left side.
Fireball to take out that Magic Archer. Will Trainer Ken have anything here? The Rascals in the back will help clean up the other Rascals from Raiki Jones.
The Rascal Girl's getting all the free shot to the Rascal Boy. Freedom and it is, but we're going to see the Tombstone logging in towards this. The Royal Hawks that are coming in, and you can see a good series of shots that are coming through, and the Rascal Girl just barely not able to get to the turret. It has to target the Infernal Dragon first, so to a bomb tower.
Beautiful choice there for Trainer Ken, but will it be able to? It didn't get any damage on that Royal Ghost, and the Hawk pushes it towards the tower. That tower's going down. 1143, 1084.
And just imagine that you have the same deck as Raiki Jones, but having the Tombstone instead of the bomb tower saves you in a single elixir every time you make a similar mechanic of play. And we will see how this affects the player, because being 1 elixir down from each of these trades with that bomb tower, I think Trainer Ken has to have some plan Bs ready to go to see how he can recover from this one.
There's the Hogs, there's the Tombstone. Beautiful, just bringing them all the way around. This time, though, he doesn't have the Royal Ghost to help out. Unfortunately, that Magic Archer didn't get the angle for the tower, so it is going to go down to the Inferno Dragon right there, and Raiki Jones goes out with his own Royal Hogs.
Yeah, that's a good placement of this Inferno Dragon by Raiki Jones, but you'll see this bomb tower go down, and not going to allow the Royal Hawks to get any type of damage on it. You'll see the Royal Hawks on the left, and Royal Ghost on the left, and we're going to see it go through it. See what we can get from all these players trying to get the chip damage right at the bridge here, and nothing else coming from it now, and we're going to see the Royal Ghost once again be a distraction for the meantime. And good fireball once again going towards this damage that were coming from the left side, and we are going to see the right side be plumped down to 1466 for Trainer Ken. We're going to see if he can hold on here.
Yeah, as that Inferno Dragon connected you could feel that it's slowly slipping away from Trainer Ken here. Will he be able to finish this? He's in a very, very bad position right now.
Yeah, look at this, the Royal Hawks coming in without the Infernal Tower, without the Bomb Tower in cycle. That's going to put the damage onto both sides. So putting it down to 680 on the left side, 1289 on the right, and still moving on with a lot of pressure from Raiki Jones, and Trainer Ken having a hard time recovering.
Yeah, so we see the Hogs from Trainer Ken once again pulled into the center by that tombstone, and it's just not looking good for Trainer Ken. He's not really getting anything to get to connect.
Let's see this once again, the skeleton now coming towards this bomb tower, and good damage from the Magic Archer and the Log, and this one little hog on the left is going to do pretty good damage down to 562, and still lots of units being called upon by Trainer Ken means that it's going to be behind Elixir for the longest time, and this Magic Archer survives from Raiki Jones.
Yeah, oh, beautiful. The Royal Ghost actually took out that Magic Archer before he could get the angle onto the tower, but we're looking at 2 fireballs, 2 logs. We'll finish this game. The Royal Ghost connects on the left-hand side. The Rascal Boy is getting close too. But those Hogs are unanswered. That tower is slowly going down. 1,300, 1,200. My goodness, it's going down. Suddenly, Trainer Ken finds an opening and manages to get some damage in.
But how much of an opening is this? Because you have to spell psych your way through to your victory, and this continued pressure from Raiki Jones is going to be just spell cycle all the way through. He has the fireball, he has the log, and as long as he can defend these shots that are coming in, it should be more than good enough. And this Magic Archer a little bit wayward in terms of its angle, does not penetrate the tower. It does so got one shot. Yeah, got one shot through the Rascal Girl, but what are we going to see from here? See good tombstone being played.
Beautiful log there from Trainer Ken. Gets a couple more hits on those Hogs.
Not good enough.
Right now, he needs to stop any damage coming through. This bomb tower needs to do work.
You can see this here, the fireball going towards all these damage.
And everything went to the right. So that tower, luckily saving himself, but all Raiki Jones needs to do now is cycle back to his fireball to finish this off. Will he be able to do it? The Hogs are actually very healthy coming towards that tower. 614.
Okay.
Will the Magic Archer be able to get an angle here and finish this off? No, it actually connected onto the Royal Ghost. Unfortunate there for Trainer Ken as Raiki Jones takes the first victory in this King of the Hill.
Raiki Jones doing a very good job of taking the first game and keeping himself alive in this King of the Hill, and we'll have to meet his second opponent in line. And this is a very interesting situation where Raiki Jones lost his 1v1 set in a 2-0 defeat to get himself in this scenario, and now he's trying to look for redemption. He got one of it right now with that Game 1 victory. We'll see if Raiki Jones can get a few more wins here.
Yeah, it took him 5.5 minutes to go through Trainer Ken. Trainer Ken is not the strongest player on Bren Esports right now. It's not going to look good for him going forward, but if anyone can do it, Raiki Jones is one of those players that just likes to surprise us every now and then.
He does play really bad at times, but he does play really good. And you can see if Giant can be the opponent from Bren Esports to kind of put down the water on this fire that is being built up by PONOS Sports after that Game 1 victory. But it seems like all the way through, Raiki Jones, he was looking to get the victory. He was looking to get it left and right, and he didn't get it in set 2, but now starting to creep out some wins. In this set number 3 in the King of the Hill. Gets that Game 1 victory. Can he get another victory here against Jai? We're going to find out.
Yeah, Jai in blue at the bottom. Raiki Jones in red at the top. We see Fire Spirits and a bar barrel from Raiki Jones just to squash them before they got near the tower.
And just force out another unit, because if it does, the Barbarian will get a single hit, and you don't want that. While looking at it, this might just be a graveyard deck on both sides here, because looking at the cannon card, with the Ice Wizard along with Barbarian Barrels certainly tells us that this is a very close thing to a graveyard deck we've seen very much before in Ladder.
Yeah, we see the Baby Dragon version of this pretty much everywhere in Grand Challenges, and it looks as though Raiki Jones is bringing that today. Yep. And also Jai is bringing a very similar version. Poison to defend that graveyard. Beautiful choice.
It's very nicely done. That poison, meaning that Jai probably has a graveyard of his own, so we'll see if that becomes the case. Though it seems like the Baby Dragon is busy targeting out the Barbarian. Will take all the shots from the Princess Tower, not allowing a single pop into that tower on the top side.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you want at this point. You want to be holding onto that graveyard and waiting for the right opportunity. If you throw it down in the wrong timing, you will lose a tower.
We'll see what happens here. The cannon card being placed in the back by Raiki Jones. The Infernal Tower, Infernal Dragon, along with the Princess Tower, does help bring him down. That Ice Wizard. Very nice Tombstone.
Tombstone, yeah, Tombstone distracted from the cannon card. Buying just a little bit of extra time, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't connect to the tower. Jai's own cannon card is in a perfect spot to help defend against an incoming graveyard.
Definitely knows that Raiki Jones is probably not going to send a graveyard anytime, so he's just going to probably defend his position initially and maybe think about the graveyard after that cannon card residue is gone. And gonna be looking towards the Ice Wizard and the Fire Spirit once again coming down, and we'll just get all 3 pops to it, and be almost a dead Ice Wizard. We still move on from this. And we'll get another Tombstone being planted just for safety. This cannon card will not make it as it's targeting away the Tombstone from the Jai side.
Yeah, interesting placement on that Tombstone right at the bridge. Obviously trying to protect the cannon card, but didn't do its job. The cannon card just walked right past it. And we see now Jai has thrown down his graveyard. Thinks he has the right timing. The cannon card is defending it very nicely with the E-Wiz and only takes a little bit of damage. It looks as though we're going to go deep, deep into overtime here. And
we're going to switch it to the left side for Raiki Jones in. They go for all the damage, but the poison defensively is there appropriately for Jai. Defend that one, and you see the double dragons putting the charge onto these skeletons that are coming from Tombstone. And get the Ice Wiz and the Baby Dragon combo do a very good job on the left side on defense, and another graveyard coming through.
Yeah, and he still has the elixir for the poison, but will he be able to slow down that attack from the front, from the bridge? It's questionable. He does take a little bit of damage, but has managed to hold this time.
And we're looking at this Infernal Dragon that hits, and we're going to see a right side graveyard, so switching things up once again is going to be Giant. We're going to see the defensive poison from Raiki Jones, and that will be all fine to go with here. And we're going to see another graveyard being planted right after that Barbarian Barrel does roll through, but this tornado.
So that way, the Baby Dragon now gets splash damage when it's attacking the Infernal Dragon. Beautiful play there by Raiki Jones, holding that tornado right until the end.
1400 flat is what we're going to get in terms of the HP on the left side, but Raiki Jones, can we get more out of him? And Baby Dragon starting to connect on the other side here, and it's going to only get it down to 1800, so 400 damage difference in what the tower achievement was going to be. And we're going to probably look at another tornado here if it comes through, and we are going to be looking towards the cannon card that just dies away. Get this poison onto both ends here, meaning that Raiki Jones will not have a defensive poison for the next graveyard.
Yeah, but that was absolutely brutal from Raiki Jones. Managed to get huge connections onto that tower with the graveyard. 983 remaining on that left-hand side tower.
And that Tombstone just wasting a lot of elixirs there, 3, to give another opportunity for offensive poison for the side of Raiki Jones. But he pull back this time around, just going to be watching the defense of the poison from Jai take care of his graveyard there.
Yeah, every time that Raiki Jones rolls that dice on the graveyard, he's getting some very, very good spawns with those skeletons. 3 or 4 hits is a lot when it's been poisoned already.
Okay, we are going to see the Ice Wizard just soak up all the damage coming through and the defensive poison as well, so it's not going to bother its right side tower too much here. 782 is going to be what Raiki Jones has to target through and see if he can get it. Because more and more we're looking at this, seems like it's going to be a longer fight, but really not leading to anything. Another defensive poison by Jai here.
Yeah, there's 40 seconds remaining. Will either player be able to get enough damage in? It looks as though Jai is going all in now. He needs this to work. And there's no poison from Raiki Jones. That poison was very, very late. He has taken quite a bit of damage. That tower is down to 1282. But will this be able to work? Both players. Raiki Jones has a huge smile on his face, rolling his dice one more time. Will he get any nat 20s? That Barbarian! It connects!
One hit, but that's not good enough. 10 seconds is not going to be enough, and I think we're going to get our first tie we've had. Is this the first tie this season? I don't remember getting a tie.
There was some earlier on in the season.
Wow.
Wow. Raiki Jones and Jai tie the game up here. So,
ooh.
Yeah.
I think you and G-Clef was in that scenario when Or was it tie?
Clinton.
Was it Clinton?
I think
okay.
it was. I think
paper
it was
thin.
paper thin. Yeah.
Okay.
So
What do we
Reiki
do
Jones
now?
wins. Reiki Jones wins. He did more damage to the towers.
Aha. So that would be a little bit different if it was in a regular 1v1 set, but in a King of the Hills, you are going to get a tie and more damage done to the left side tower compared to the right side. Coming from Jai there, and wasn't good enough, and it's going to bring out MNOGP as the third game on, and he's beaten Reiki Jones 2 times already. Can he do it for the 3rd time? That's going to keep his team in the game.
Well, he's going to need to. He's going to need to get his 3rd all kill in terms of games. I mean, look at that, 10 and 2 in King of the Hill.
Yeah.
2 all kills already, and now he needs the reverse sweep to keep Bren Esports' #1 dream alive for the SEA region.
#1, to be sure, and it's almost going to be beating out the #1 team in all of CRO Asia, kind of giving her hopes for the playoffs that will come through. I'm sure Bren Esports will be very much on their way to get there, but they need to win as many games from here on to separate themselves from the other greats that are in the Southeast Asia. We're going to see if Reiki Jones can get his revenge after he lost 2 in the 1v1 set. We're going to come into set number 3, King of the Hills. Potentially the last game, Reiki Jones on match point to see if he can beat MNOGP and give PONOS a win.
Yeah, if he gets this all kill, it's one of the least expected all kills I think we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because Reiki Jones in King of the Hill doesn't have the greatest of records, but right now, he's getting it done against Bren Esports.
I mean, it takes a long time in beating his opponent, but anyway you do it, you're not minding too much if you are PONOS Sports, and we're going to look at lots of time being spent by Reiki Jones for 2 games in a row, and 3 muskies very, very early here to start off this game.
Yeah, MNOGP throwing down them early, and Reiki Jones also has 3 musketeers.
How do we have 3 mirror matchups for 3 games in a row?
I don't know, fireballs mirrored, and actually, MNOGP missed one of the musketeers.
That hurts, and it's going to force out another zap, and you don't want that if you're MNOGP. And fireball, he was a little bit greedy trying to go for the tower at the same time, but ends up spending 2 more elixir for that defense.
Yeah, but now they're about equal. He would have had a bit of an elixir advantage if he didn't need that zap, but it wasn't that bad a decision. They're both equal right now. We see the Barb Hut from Reiki Jones.
Barb Hut, 3 muskie. That's a very, very heavy deck if I've ever seen one. And we're going to see this Royal Hog just trying to slow down the Barb Hut by putting all the defense through it.
Bats as well, actually just taking... Wow. That was crazy. The bats actually managed to get a lot of damage onto the Royal Ghost.
At the same time, it is a 7-unit, 7 elixir unit being cycled through to get to that one. Start off the double elixir. And I wonder if these 2 muskies on the left will survive this time around, because the last time MNOGP fluked a little bit on that fireball, but we have 2 muskies and 2 muskies on both sides. And look at this Barbarian is taking all the shots, and this fireball will take care of all the damage that are coming through.
Those 2 musketeers are going to connect to the tower. The Royal Ghost isn't in time. Only one of them actually connected. Luckily for MNOGP there. Wow. Does get work done on that right-hand side. 1724 remains. So MNOGP throws down the Royal Hogs. And the Royal Ghost is there to answer them. But one little piggy went to market, and he is at the tower right now going ham on everything.
Well, 1944 is not the biggest amount of damage you could have done if you were MNOGP, and 4 seconds left to go. Might just be another stalemate going to another overtime as if this was expected. And they're going to go towards this 2 muskies that will die out to that fireball, but this one Barbarian is going to keep the distraction on, and this one little muskie on the right side are going to be reinforced by the Rascals now. And look at this Royal Hogs coming out of nowhere.
Huge push here for Reiki Jones. Will he be able to take it?
No, this came out of nowhere.
So much damage getting done here. 1822, 763 remain.
That was
My goodness,
troubling.
huge
That was troubling shot, because that came out of nowhere. Just keeping the Royal Hogs hidden until very, very end here. And we didn't even see it until the first 3 minutes has already allowed and passed it. We're going to look at this Hunter taking care of the Royal Ghost, and along with the Barbarian that came through. But these 2 muskies on both sides here. We're going to see what happens from the stalemate that we're going to have here.
Yeah, Reiki Jones likes to play it slow and steady. This will be his third game going deep into overtime in a row here in the King of the Hill format. That is nuts. And the fact that he has the endurance to keep going through these games, that's a testament to his ability.
Definitely in a situation where you're feeling pretty confident, and look at this Royal Hawks being defended by the 3 Muskies and does a fantastic job of it as well. So you're going to see these 2 Muskies on the right side, whether they do a significant amount of damage. The log will be there to push things back, and these bats, along with the Royal Ghost, seems like trouble from the side of Reiki Jones, but will be able to handle it very well with the Magic Archer and the Royal Ghost.
Yeah, if those Rascals actually got a hit on that tower, that would have been deadly for Reiki Jones there, as he would have been in fireball range. And that's all he needs. He just needs another 300 damage onto that tower, and he will be able to fireball it away and finish out Bren Esports. It is very rough right now for Manong GP.
Oh, but this Royal Ghost and this Royal Hawks and these bats, it's just a one-hit push. If this works out, this is going to look good, and the bats are still alive. But the Rascal Girls survive with that little HP. This is looking bad for Manong GP. Literally 500-something HP on both of its towers. All the options available for Reiki Jones to strike.
Yeah, and especially when you have the 3 Musketeers, it's a very bad situation to be in for Manong GP, because that damage can easily come out, and the Hogs here splitting down. Are they going to get any couple of hits? Will one of these towers go down into fireball range? That is the question. No! Just... No!
Whoa, the Musketeer! That's all it takes! Came out of nowhere, and we didn't see that coming. Manong GP gives the applause over to Reiki Jones, who just got the all clear onto Bren Esports, and we're gonna see Bren Esports fall down once again to the Kings that we know being the Season 1 champions of PONOS Sports. And here they are once again with the help of Reiki Jones. It doesn't matter if you lose the set 1v1 set and that's set 2. If you can win the King of the Hills, you definitely made up for it.
Yeah, I thought that Musketeer would have targeted the other Musketeer, but it must have just been out of range.
Right.
Targets the tower, and I mean, you got to feel bad for Manong GP, because it looked like he wasn't expecting it either.
Yeah.
It looked like he was expecting to have cleaned that up and was ready for his own push, and then suddenly it's like, oh, my tower's dead. All right, game over.
We learned that yesterday through the wonderful matchup we had all day yesterday. This game is all about inches. This game is all about the milliseconds of differences, and we're going to see what we can hear from PONOS Sports. We're going to get an interview with them to see here what they have to say.
見事の勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。那这边的话，我们一样会准备3个问题要进行访问。对，那第一个问题的话，要问的是，刚刚拿下了这个胜利，也代表他顺利征服了东南亚分区的所有队伍，现在心情跟感觉如何？
So we would like to ask, how do you feel about the win? Now you're the top team in all Royale Asia. So how do you feel?
はい、まあ自分が出たシングルは負けちゃったんですけど、その後自分が1番に出たいって言って監督が採用してくれたので、まあありがとうございます。
一开始就是前面第一场的时候，然后在比赛的时候，教练愿意让我再出场，觉得非常开心，然后再次获得胜利，非常。
Well,
that was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was drinking my drink.
I was just ready to open up another chest. I was like, oh, all right, my silver chest is unlocked.
You can do that later. We're probably going to get a break pretty soon. But, yep, we heard a question from the announcer.
No, we heard congratulations.
Did we? Is that what we heard?
Congratulations, done. That is perfect interview length. PONOS Sports, Reiki Jones, out of nowhere, all kills Bren Esports and takes out the unbeatable Manong GP.
Yeah, and Manong GP at King of the Hills was supposed to be the stronger beast than he was in many matches so far, but it came through in that 1v1 when he looked really, really strong today, kind of for some reason, and all that power juiced out of him and came into the King of the Hills in this last set and did not pull through. And Reiki Jones, credits to him. We thought we might just kind of trouble him for his 1v1 woes in the past, but he does get the win, and it's going to bring PONOS Sports further up in the standings for Japan. And we're going to see the second matchup after a short break, guys. We'll be right back to see the last match of the conference division. So Chaos Theory and 5 Gaming will be on the way for you guys shortly. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys, to Royale Asia Season 2. We are back for the last series of the conference division. That is a little bit sad to say. I feel like I'm going to miss this after it's all done and over with, but we are going to get Chaos Theory and FOV Gaming in. Of course, a very important match for both of these teams. Chaos Theory literally putting them a win. It would put them way ahead of the competition, putting AHQ down further down, so it gives them the best of chances to make it to the playoffs for Southeast Asian side. But FOV Gaming is a very important game for these guys as well, because if they do win, they get ever so closer to regaining their second place title they had over Game with them. So kind of at third place, FOV Gaming is in an awkward position that they really need to win this one.
I wouldn't say it's an awkward position. It's the position they've been in, week out. They need to win every game to keep up with PONOS Sports and Game With, who were last season's Japanese Region 1 and 2. Look at those hoodies. They're so good.
Just ask them to buy it.
I've asked them, and they're like...
No reply.
No, they said ask someone else, and I asked them, and I haven't had a response yet. It's terrible. Anyway, FOV Gaming, Rad, Yakitori, Kensumeshi are today's active members, with Dani as the fourth player.
And we'll see this roster coming through. Rad and Yakitori, we know him as the premier member of this 2v2 squad. They have been doing very, very well. Kensumeshi is back on the line. He's got a ban though. Hog Rider, are you serious?
Very interesting ban.
Why?
We don't see much Hog Rider anymore, and especially as the NATO is also banned out from Benza Riddell. Maybe Benza Riddell was going to throw out the Hog Rider.
Many people have said that literally the Royal Hogs are better in tournament standard than the Hog Rider in multiple ways. The Hog Rider is only good over level, but Royal Hogs at the 5 Elixir still right now, as it has not been nerfed significantly since it's a big buff that it got. It is a little bit stronger than the Hog Rider, so why do you ban a Hog Rider instead of banning out the Royal Hogs? Makes a little sense to me.
They're different beasts, I think. I think the reason why Royal Hogs is better than Hog Rider right now is that to answer the Hogs, you need a big answer. You know, you need to throw out a Mega Knight, or you need to throw out Fireball plus something else. And if they split them, you've just got to pray to Supercell basically to be able to defend that. Unless
that Benza Riddell is just a brilliant Hog Rider player that maybe Kensumeshi don't want to play against him with that hand. So, well, you know, all that 1v1 talk will be up for later subjects, as we're going to go on to this 2v2 first. Rad and Yakitori back again for FOV Gaming, going up against JTV and Careless. Of course, this 2v2 duo for Chaos Theory has not been as consistent in terms of making its appearance, because they've been switching around quite a bit.
Careless and was it JTV?
Yeah.
They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2.
5 and 2. Okay. Actually, a lot better than what I thought, because I've seen Careless in the bench many times as the fourth player coming for the King of the Hills, and this duo, I guess they do pretty well, and we're going to see this Witch combination with the Golem. So, very interesting start for Rad and Yakitori.
Yeah, Golem Witch is it as good as Golem Night Witch? I don't think so. And a Night... Wait, what? Night Witch, and so it's the double Witch Golem deck.
But the Baby Dragon's here.
Beautiful lightning there, though.
But you look at that, the Baby Dragon's here. I mean, in the lightning, obviously, doing a very good job getting rid of both Witches at the same time. But if you're trying to bring the double Witch into this play here, you're going to be fearing this Baby Dragon, because it literally gets rid of everything those two Witches spawn, whether it's the ground unit or whether it's the air unit of the bat. And you're looking at this, the Dark Goblin would have gotten a lot of damage onto the tower if left alone, but see the Mega Man didn't take care of it, but still continues from here.
Yeah, never ever leave a Dark Goblin to attack a tower, because it will destroy everything.
Yeah, because
we see the Lava Hound and the Witch now, so both teams bringing out the double Witches.
We'll see what happens here, because all the more we are looking towards the Baby Dragon fight against each other. That's a clone. That is a clone.
Wait, there is so much stuff there, and everything died to just that one snowball. Beautiful play by Chaos Theory, but still, the tower is getting hurt.
That little bat and that skeleton
just going to town.
This Witch is still at it. The Foundry is here barely, and that will get rid of the Which, but look at this penetration damage. That will get a couple of arrows to 748 is nothing to scoff at here. And at this moment, you are kind of fearing your chance if you are JTV and Carol is having taken so many damage already from that side.
Yeah, we see that Rad and Yakitori have reloaded once again with that Golem. Beautiful lightning there, taking out the supporting units, and the cloak came in way too late for Chaos Theory, and they got no value on that whatsoever.
That's a done game. This Golem doesn't even need support right now, and it probably will just get the tower all by itself. That is a scary, scary looking game, and Kiss is out to kind of help themselves just a little bit because, woo, if I had that in my screen on the other side of my 2v2 Clash Royale game, my phone would be at the sofa, being thrown.
At the sofa, my phone would have already been smashed into 1,000 pieces.
Oh my word.
And look, the Golem on the right-hand side, is it going to be able to two-crown here? It doesn't look like it will. The Snowball comes in to try and help another Snowball.
Just barely.
So close to a double crown there. Rad and Yakitori controlled that game from beginning to end.
Well, you know, if there's one way to do that, the clone is always entertaining to watch, but oh dear, we're gonna see Rad and Yakitori putting the trigger on once again, and Chaos Theory, do they have what it takes to come back from this one?
I think they do, obviously, because they have been winning games all the time. I mean, they have beaten Bren Esports, they have beaten OP Gaming, they've beaten GameWith, they've beaten Kingzone, they've beaten Dead Nation Gaming. They have beaten so many different teams, so clearly they have the stuff to win here. But they have to calm themselves down to be able to do it. And
calm themselves down.
As I say that.
You do say that, but
throws out the angry princess.
Careless is not calm at the moment from the precise definition of that word. And we're going to get the Golem and the Prince once again in. Giant Skeleton and the Lumberjack just trying to stop the Golem in charge. But
1, 2,
that damage.
3, 4,
5, count.
4 hits from the Magic Archer out of nowhere. That is the power of the Magic Archer in 2v2. Because there's so many units, it clumps all kind of together in one funnel.
Prince. Oh, that law was needed.
But look at the damage they've taken already. 1842. They've lost their Giant Skeleton. They lost their Lumberjack there. Way too much damage getting done here.
Valkyrie just pulled back just a little bit from that snowball. And you're going to see this Witch. It's going to be troubling times for this Prince, but the Baby Dragon will surely help out with that one. And the Witch is going to be wiped away by the Lightning. So very nicely done there. And you get this Prince once again to charge across this Giant Skeleton. Will probably just die out to the explosion damage in time.
Whoa, so close.
That was very close.
Yeah, half a second more on that fuse timer, and that would have connected with the tower.
Definitely would have. You're going to see the Golem once again on the left side. You're going to see the same thing from both sides, actually. Golem a little bit in front for JTV and Careless for Chaos Theory. And we're going to see if this has a lot more success this time around, because the last time nothing really came by for these Lava Hounds. And the double log, I don't know how necessary that was. So a little bit of communication issue, I would have to assume, from JTV and Careless on that one.
Yeah, they just really wanted that princess dead, maybe. Like, you know, double logging it for no reason. But that Prince is going to connect.
Oh, it's still going to get the charge, but it's not going to be a full-fledged charge, which is a little bit important. But they did have to sacrifice a unit to get that down. So right now, if you are Rad and Yakitori, you're feeling pretty good about your chances to win out this one, because more and more we get to this matchup, it seems as if that 1104 in terms of the HP on that tower will likely go down pretty soon here.
Yeah, especially when they have Lightning in the back. The Princes always seem to get close. They had to double log it there to make sure it doesn't connect, but still 3, 4, 5 remaining on there. And the Princess just ignores the Golem standing in front of her, throws one more hit at the tower, and that means that a log and a fireball, or pretty much anything else, will take that tower down.
Anything will do.
But this is actually very scary from Chaos Theory. Will they be able to get it first?
What?
4, 6, 9. No, shut down.
Yeah,
there you go. There's the Lightning.
Ooh, that was close.
Finishing it off. Very scary last-second push there for JTV and Carolus, but just not enough to finish here.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, very quick 2-0 for Fav Gaming. Compared to everything we saw from Raiki Jones in that King of the Hill, where it went down to the last seconds of overtime.
Kind of expected that Ran and Yakitori would win on the 2v2. Now, this is a scenario that I was actually talking to you about before any of these games began, that I thought that Ran and Yakitori would win, but it would be up to Benzerito in the end if his team wants to win. He would have to win this next 1v1, and he would have to literally hard carry his team in the King of the Hill. So I'm kind of wondering if that would happen, though, because we saw Manong GP try that and didn't work out, because we saw Manong GP win on the set 2, but did lose to Raiki Jones in the end. So Benzerito, another attempt here for him to really see that if he can really his adjustment correctly, because he really wants to set that at the perfect height for his Clash Royale pleasure for him.
Yeah, and you see Ken Sameshi also asking for everything to be lowered down to its probable lowest setting.
Come on. Come on.
He was just going down, down, down. Keep lowering it, keep lowering it.
Be nice to good old Kent.
Kent is amazing. He's such a nice guy, but I mean, he was just like lower, lower, lower. Benzeridel's like, raise it up, boys, raise it up.
You missed that earlier frame when he was telling him to raise it up slightly before he raised it down all the way. But, you know, the good locks and the thumbs ups are given, and love is given from Benzerito. It's replied by Ken Sameshi. That is sweet to see, but without a Hog Rider, typically banned out by Ken Sameshi, understandable by very few aspects of things.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the Hog Rider ban. It could be one of those bans where it's like, I don't know what else to ban, so I'll just ban that. We do see that happen sometimes. We've seen like, oh, you know what? I just wanted them to play everything.
Okay, we're going to see, without the Hog Rider, we're going to see the Royal Giant.
Are we going to see the Giant Skeleton as well with this? We see it in 2v2. Is it suitable for 1v1?
Dylan showed us that it's not a suitable deck, but this Lightning here does a very good job. The guards are here, the skeletons are here as well. A Wizard!
Wizard!
From good old Kent! And it's going to do wonders.
Yeah, cleans that up nicely, but he still does take quite a bit of damage. 1795 on that top right-hand side tower. And there's the Prince.
Oh my.
If this gets a connection, has to summon the guards, but the Wizard will take care of that. Will he get another?
Oh, that hurts.
Much.
That's a
damage.
GG. I've had that being played against my solo queue games, and that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, the Knight and the Wizard there just getting stuff done.
And it's a conflicting situation, because you have to stop either the Prince or the Wizard. But once you try to stop the Prince, the Wizard will kill whatever's trying to stop the Prince. If you try to stop the Wizard, the Prince will kill whatever's happening from that one. And
well, I mean, they could have shut it down with a Fireball if they had it.
Obviously, had the Lightning, you're not going to carry another Fireball with that. Come on, Simon.
Well, I know that, but I mean, maybe he should have bought a Fireball or a Poison or something like that. And a Golem from Ken Sameshi. What is he doing in this deck?
What's the Prince deck? I mean, it makes sense, but
yeah, with the Wizard and the Ice Wizard.
And with the Tombstone and the Golem deck, we've talked about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do this, yeah. You were like, oh, it's a terrible decision having a Tombstone in a Golem deck, but we see it goes to work here right now. Is that Royal Giant is going to go down to the guards, to the Ice Wizard. Does get 3 hits off. 1, 1, 2, 8 remain. And Benzeridel has 30 seconds to do this.
Oh boy, this Wizard is going to town.
Yeah, who'd have thought Barbarian Barrel would come into the meta? It's one of those cards that we didn't see really coming much out of anywhere when it first came out, and now it's everywhere.
This Fireball's perfect, and that's an easy game for Ken Sameshi. Good old Kent picking up a solid game 1 victory for him against the Benzerito, and Benzerito literally is going to be on match point. If he cannot win this next one, his team will go down and give all the fairness back to AHQ, who's now trying to do the catch-up.
Yeah, Benzeridel went down very, very quickly, and Ken Sameshi didn't even need to summon his Golem that game to secure the victory. He won with his backup. He won out with his backup, not even his win condition. He won with a backup.
And he sent out his main card, being the Golem on the left side, just for distraction, so that good old Benzerito could not strike back on the right side, where he did a little bit of damage to start the game off. But when you have to defend against the Golem, you do not want to lose 2 crowns. And Benzarito is back at it again. Complete reset and see what he does in this game number 2 against Ken Tsumishi.
So we are going to get into game 2, and Benzarito throws down the tombstone. So you don't usually have to react to the tombstone, right? When it's played right at the beginning, you just let your Princess Tower kind of take it out.
You look for the second card, definitely do, and Tombstone does time out in succession, so same deck isn't Ken Tsumishi. Are you literally doing this?
Prince is there.
Oh, that charge.
Charged into the skeleton and not the Royal Ghost, but that doesn't really matter, as the Prince will clean that up anyway. Guard summon at the back for Ken Tsumishi, and a Hunter from Benzarito with that Barb Barrel going right up to the front, and then Tombstone again from Ken Tsumishi. It does look like he's playing the same deck as before.
Could be. Not need a golden point yet, but Hunter missed the long on that one, so a little bit awkward. Could have kept the Tombstone alive just for a little bit longer, but it's going to be the 3 Muskies for Benzarito, and really likes this card, and has had a lot of success with it in the past. And see the fireball to the right side, and what else are we going to see from the left? Right side is pretty much covered the Royal Hogs.
The Royal Hogs and the Wizard there to help clean this up.
Oh, brilliant.
But it is getting quite a bit of damage to 003. And this game
Left
is
side,
a game
left
of
side,
millimeters right now.
Left side.
Oh my goodness.
Left side. The warning signs by Joel was going off on your head, Simon.
I know.
That Barbarian and the 1 Muskie from the 3-pack did a pretty good job getting it down to 10-03. This looks like already a game for good old Benzarito, taking basically no damage to his own towers and splitting all that damage onto 2 sides right now.
Yeah, and the Royal Ghost as well helped equal out Ken Tsumishi's towers, both down to the low tons. Low ton? Ah, whatever. It's 1,000. Ton is 100. I'm stupid. Okay, down to low 1,000s here. As we see the 3 Musketeers again from Benzarito with the Hogs in front. The Wizard trying its best, and there's a poison to help try to take down that tower a little bit more. And the Golem pushing through is going to connect to the Tombstone.
It's not going to get to the tower before it gets destroyed by the Tombstone. Means that it's not going to get the explosive death damage that is very much required. Going to have a lot of success with the Golem. 15 seconds seems so far away for that Golem in the back to reach the opponent tower in. And these Royal Hogs coming from the left side looking very, very, very good. And these 2 Muskies on the right, what are you supposed to do? This tower on the left will probably go down very soon here, Simon.
4-1-3 remaining. He doesn't have the spells really to close it out, so he has to keep defending well. Otherwise, Ken Tsumishi could actually push through and get 1 mega push off that will finish this game.
And this continued distraction of the Prince doesn't allow it to
The
get
Wizard
the
on the
charge.
left-hand side takes that tower down to 1-2-5-3. That means another big push from Ken Tsumishi on that left-hand side. If it can break through, we'll take the game.
Do just that, put it on the left side for the Golem for Ken Tsumishi, and this poison and the continual spells will come across to Benzarito, and probably going to look towards another series of damage. The Hog Rider, the Royal Hogs is going to be there for the damage, and the Logs will be piping it away.
Oh, look, that Musketeer on the right, out of nowhere, creeps in and finishes that tower, equalizing the score.
When all our eyes are on the left side and are not even zoned in to the right side, that's not safe driving. And you know, we learn from driving lessons that you have to look towards the blind side, and that was definitely the blind side for all of us here, including Ken Tsumishi.
Yeah, with so much going on the right with the Hogs and the Barb Barrel and everything else, it kind of forces Ken Tsumishi's focus to go to that left-hand side, leaving that Musketeer to start attacking the tower. And when he realized, he throws down the guards, but it was a little too late.
Well, after all that, Benzarito loses the first game, but has the tenacity to return and win for the second one. So if he can win this third one and get a big, big run going in, this might just be the miracle that Chaos Theory is looking for. They've lost 3 games in a row for winning their first game with Benzarito. So gonna have to win basically every other game from here on, and that's gonna give Chaos Theory the victory here today.
As we see the Miner from Ken Tsumishi onto that tower, the E-Wiz just resetting that, mitigating a little bit of damage on that tower. And we see the E-Wiz from Ken Tsumishi as well, So we've seen 2 spells and an E-Wiz from Benza Riddell. And we've seen Furnace, Miner, E-Wiz, and now Ghost.
The graveyard deck from Benza Riddell. I would have to assume with that poison and the zap looks pretty good. And Magic Archer will help out with the defense along with the Royal Ghost, helping out against the Royal Ghost. And see the invisibility cloak being activated.
Mega Knight. Beautiful card to play here. Just going to tank up all that damage that'll come through. And minions as well should go to the tower, I think.
Oh, got Mega Knight of his own.
Holding by the own Mega Knight, but there is an Inferno Dragon right on top.
That's not good. That is not good. And
the E-Wiz, though, resets it, and the Miner in the back, though.
Doesn't get the attention.
Ooh, the Mega Minion gets the jump, but look how much damage that Miner has done. 1,198 on that top right-hand side tower. As the 2 ghosts pass each other like ships in the night.
Here it is, and look at this. Miner just getting a good hand to this Royal Ghost, and we're going to see this here where the E-Wiz does once again a very good job taking the damage away. A little bit closer than we have initially thought. That Kensimichi losing a little bit more, 1198 with 1452 now for Benza Riddell.
Yeah, it's slowly becoming more equalized between the 2 players. But it's all going to come down to who can make the most of their miners. We see a beautiful poison. That is the one advantage that Benza Riddell has right now, is that poison will slowly tick away at that tower, putting Kensimichi on a very short clock.
You can see the 2 Mega Knights being planted right behind the back of the King's Tower, and let's see what happens from all this. Are they going to have protection for this Magic Archer? I don't think they will. The Magic Archer just dies out from the simultaneous jumps that came through, and Mega Knight from the other end. It's very difficult to get this other Mega Knight down in. You can see this very, very quick rush of all these elixirs being spent on offense, and that's going to give a lot of advantage towards Benza Riddell. He has an infinite elixirs to use now and see what he can do with this charge.
Yeah, Kensimichi even has his own poison that he's going to have to start using to tick down that tower, unless Benza Riddell can finish it in this push. That's actually a lot of elixir and a lot of units. The charge
comes through,
in.
Benza Riddell saw the aggressive all-in from Kensimichi at the last seconds there, and he knew as long as he defended it efficiently, he was going to be able to get that win. So with Chaos Theory losing 3 games in a row, 2 in that 2v2 to lose that set, and that first one from the 1v1 from Kensimichi, it was very easy for them to give up and really say that let's call it a day and look for the next one. But really had the resilience from Benza Riddell to really stick it in this one and wins that game 2 and game 3. And we're going to go to the King of the Hills to kind of wonder if Benza Riddell has it within him to get this really miraculous win.
Yeah, if Chaos Theory win this through that King of the Hill, the SEA region is going to be very, very tough to qualify out of for AHQ. And Kicks still have a chance, I believe. There's 2 games left for them.
Yeah,
they
but
go 7 and...
Kicks still last place, so I mean, if AHQ is going to have a hard time, I don't see Kicks going to have any better time on that one, but I would have to say it's going to be Bren Esports and Chaos Theory in the end. If obviously, this game is not over yet. We don't know if Chaos Theory won or not, but
if they do.
If they do, though, the kind of future speaking here is that Bren Esports and Chaos Theory will be the heavy favorites for one of these 2 to be the representative of that region, but speaking of representatives, let's look at the roster for the King of the Hills. Benza Riddell, first, he just doesn't want his teammates to play. He just says, sit down, just go home, I'll play this all, and I'll get an all sweep once again.
Yeah, Benza Riddell is definitely a player good enough for it. Looking through, he all-killed OGN Entis, and almost all-killed Sandbox, but ended up losing to Sato. Kensimichi here, King of the Hill, 1 loss, and that's it.
Not many games played.
He lost to Manong GP. Actually,
not a fair loss. I mean, Manong GP.
Everyone loses to Manong GP and King of the Hill, except Raiki Jones.
Raiki Jones. He does everything that we don't expect out of him, and barely does. He got the win over Manong GP, but can Kensimichi get a revenge match against Benza Riddell? Because he won that first game through basically a surprise deck that caught off guard from Benza Riddell, and we'll see. definitely. Kensumeshi is putting out all the emotes he possibly can, expressing his very mixed emotion that he has right now.
Yeah, we see the miner from Benzaridel and Spear Goblins from Kensumeshi. Tried to answer the miner with the Mega Minion, but guessed wrong on its position. And the Tornado ban from Chaos Theory actually helps the positioning of the miner a lot.
Gonna get the fireball, but it would have been a little bit nicer if that fireball kind of pulled the Hunter in just a little bit, so maybe the Mega Minion can get that swipe through, but it did not happen this time around. The Hunter will eventually do go down to that Prince's Tower, so the Mega Minion will be at the target once again, and this the Prince is going to be charging through it. He's going to get that charge hit. To the Royal Ghost, and this Bats, pretty good job with the Mega. Oh! Yep, that's it.
That zap was just out of time from Kensumeshi, and getting the charge damage there is massive for Benzaridel.
GG's. That's game. I mean, literally, if you have that Prince charge, not only does it put in the damage, it gives you such a big elixir lead, and it puts the mental tear onto your opponents every time you get that charge too, especially when you miss that zap.
Yeah, I don't think it's over yet, but if you are Kensumeshi, you've got to be feeling like, oh, I can't believe I missed that by like half a second. And the miner actually completely ignored the giant goblin there and just went to town on the tower. 8-4 remaining.
Kensumeshi has just about a 2-3 elixir lead right now. Kensumeshi was the one to debut this deck back a couple of weeks ago for Clash Royale League Asia, but this time around, we're going to see it again from him and Sparky. Just destroying the Prince here, and see this Royal Ghost. The charge is on this tower here, and they just get die out the tower, and
Hunter will take care of that. The fireball though, that Sparky is actually kind of healthy. Will it be able to charge up and hit the tower?
Oh!
So close there.
That would have made all the difference in the world.
That would have equalized this game back up. We talked about the Prince, the Knights, Prince. Talked about the Prince charge being devastating on your morale. The Sparky connection is even worse.
Yeah, it really does. And see the Prince just get charged out once again, and let's see the Hunter being played through with this Goblin Giant in the front of things.
Oh. Doesn't even get one shot off this time. Beautiful defense from Benzaridel.
The guards and the zap is going to get the job done on this one, and Benzaridel still staying strong, and does have to beat out Kensumeshi for him to defeat out his other opponents in line. So I guess that one swipe with the Mega Minion, that might make all the difference here. And no Goblin Giant in front this time, so a naked Sparky do not want.
Oh, fireball. The decent value on that fireball, but the poison there. The Prince trying to charge through. Miner in the back though, and that Giant, if it connects to the tower, this is all over.
That's it. I mean, was that the right play? Putting out Sparky literally naked with no protection and putting it out without the Goblin Giant in front?
No.
It wasn't.
I think if he'd have taken his time a little bit more, played it from the back, he'd have been in a much better position. Putting it right at the front is incredibly risky and super aggressive.
And it usually doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, you got billion ways to counter Sparky, but when a Sparky is behind a big tank unit like the Goblin Giant, that makes it very tough for your opponents to really try to find a counter to it. But Yakitori is going to be the second man up to see if he can be the one to take down the big boss, Benzaridel. But Benzaridel, I think he's really found his click now. I think after that win, those 2 games, in that game 2 and 3 from set 2, he's really ready to win this all, and we're going to see if he can do it against Yakitori, who's been playing pretty well in the 2v2, but you know that 1v1 is a completely different game, and we'll see what all the differences we can make here, because all the way looking through here.
Yeah, King of the Hill, Matin, is the one player who beat Yakitori, and Yakitori has only appeared against that one game. So will Benzaridel be able to put Chaos Theory 2-0 in this King of the Hill? We're going to find out right now as the Kissy emotes start coming out.
Showing a lot of love, and Benzaridel likes that. And puts a thumbs up to celebrate the exchange of emotes, and you know, Ice Spirit once again being nuisance to all these units that are coming by, and very much log baits, it seems like to me. But Expo. Yakitori brings that to Expo.
Oh.
Did not expect that.
Yeah, we don't really see much of the Expo anymore. It's a very rare card to see. We see the Miner from Benzaridel start taking it out as the Rascal Boy tanks up all those hits from the defensive Expo here.
Yep, and the Miner was almost taking out the Expo, almost did that, but put good protection from Yakitori on that one, and Mortar.
Mortar from Benzaridel. Oh, look at that though. Whiff the first shot, and the Expo here is going to start tanking those hits. Oh my goodness, the Mortar here is just firing off everywhere except the places it needs to go.
Just to get an eye vision test on that Mortar right there. Missing out quite a bit. It's not really hard to miss that big Expo on the other side, but it is going to be the 4 elixir cost of the Mortar and the 6 elixir cost of the Expo to see which of the two structures will get the win in this very interesting game.
Yeah, Miner at the back now. Missed with the Ice Golem. The Ice Golem was there to try and soak up that Miner damage, but brilliant positioning by Benzaridel, making sure that doesn't happen. And the Expo here is in a very aggressive position that will connect to the tower if he cannot put anything there to tank.
The Minion Horde is fantastic value. It gets the Expo down, and for that 1 elixir trade, you are going to be happy if you're Benzaridel on that one, and we're going to be looking towards another Spear Goblin. It's going to be forming from this in action right here.
Yeah, very, very quick cycle from Benzaridel, even with the Rascals there. And the Mega Minion, he can cycle through to his Mortar pretty quickly, especially as we get into the double elixir period.
So we're going to look at the Miner, just connecting onto the tower.
Mega Minion in the Expo deck is a very recent kind of choice that we see, as we see a lot of Royal Giants and Ladder and stuff like that.
Were you referring to the Mini P.E.K.K.A.?
The Mini P.E.K.K.A., yeah, the Mini P.E.K.K.A., sorry.
I was going to say, the Mega Minion is kind of common.
Mega Minion is super common. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me today? All right, Ice Golem breaks through, takes one Mortar to the face. The Expo here.
Switch your sides.
Yep. And the Mortar is connecting to the Expo. It's not going to get any more shots.
Value right there. And let's have the Miner take care of everything here. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. just draws right back. Get the charge right through. And get this once again. The Mortar, once again, there for defense, does a very good job. And will be targeted by this Mortar on the left side. And this Long does a very good job. And this Mini P.E.K.K.A. will take care of all the charges here. And I guess that one little cannon out, that makes all the difference in the world. And the Miner is still going pretty strong, putting on that defensive pressure. And 12-25 is what has to be overcome by Benzaridel. And even if it goes to a tie, it seems like more and more damage is being done by the Mortar deck more than anything else. Really not the damage coming from the Mortar. It's mostly about the Miner each time chipping their way through.
Yeah, the Miner is just getting enough value to put Benzaridel ahead. And if this goes another 2 minutes, that is a nice connection though. But if this goes another 2 minutes like this, Benzaridel will win this match.
Yeah, I don't see, as long as the big hit is going to be given by the Expo, that's going to make it very difficult. But the Rocket is going to try to make some difference here. 6 elixir used a little bit abruptly. We will see what kind of change we can get. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. does a very good job of taking all this charge through, and good log once again in terms of that value coming through. And the Spear Goblins are back in it once again, just trying to put the damage in. Gonna put the offensive Mortar this time around, so didn't expect this if you were Yakitori. And see if you can connect onto this one.
The Miner and the Spear Goblins with the Fireball. Just not enough. 29 remain. He does have the log to finish this off, and that is Benzaridel's second win here. Yakitori going down.
Benzaridel winning 4 games in a row now, puts out the guns, telling him he has been sharpshooting his opponents here and out. And look at this, he's about to win his 5th one and just really call it a day. It is a one-man team of Benzaridel. Everybody else from his team lost, and he's the only one that's been winning, and that might be good enough to give his entire team the victory.
I think saying that Chaos Theory is a one-man team is a bit disingenuous, man. Like,
what?
Their 2v2 has been really good. JTV and Carolus have been playing amazingly. Today, yeah, sure, but you can't say it's a one-man team today.
It's a one-man team today. I said it.
It hurts my feelings, man. Rad is the final boss here for Fav Gaming. Will he be able to reverse sweep Chaos Theory? Many people are going to be thinking, no way he can do it.
I'm a little bit caught out by the fact that they didn't put Donnie in. Donnie looked fantastic just a couple of days ago when he was playing with his player, and we're going to see if Ken Sumeshi, you know, was the one to really put out the revenge on, but it was going to be Ken Sumeshi, Yakitori, and Rad for that roster for Fav Gaming. So interesting to see that we're not going to see Donnie here, and we're going to see Rad as the last man up.
Yeah, I think Donnie would have been a better choice for Fav Gaming instead of Yakitori. I think Rad Ken Sumeshi Donnie is their ultimate King of the Hill lineup.
Well, I mean, Yakitori wanted to prove himself, and he didn't. With an Expo deck that did not beat out the Mortar deck. Of course, it cycles a lot faster with that 4 elixirs, but shows once again the true magic of those structures didn't work out.
Defensive miner right at the back for Benzeridel, which will take the aggro from the Royal Ghost there. Interesting that he didn't use it aggressively. The Inferno Dragon actually got a little bit of a tickle onto that tower, though, on the top left-hand side.
The Royal Ghost is going to be stopped by this cannon car. It will be very, very easily done. And you're going to see, once again, through this flying machine, taking care of the minions in time. We're going to see any type of front tank unit for this flying machine. We're just going to leave it alone for now.
And a Mega Knight there. With the E-Wiz resetting it, that was wonderful. And the Barb Hut here will be shut down by the Mega Knight.
Oh, good Barbarian to target out the E-Wiz. Just needs one more hit, but did not get it.
Yeah, and the Inferno Dragon targets onto the Royal Ghost, meaning that Barb Hut will survive a little bit longer, but it's in the middle of no man's land, isn't getting targeted by the Princess Tower, giving it free reign of that center control.
Getting all the value in the world for that one. It's going to melt down the Barbarian, and that is not good news if you are Rad. Trying to keep that 7 elixir as effective as it can for the longest of time, but it is going to be life cut short from the Inferno Dragon. That was at the perfect position for him on that one.
Yeah, now we have the Royal Ghost and the minions coming through. The Royal Ghost is going to start targeting that cannon card. It's not going to take it down before it dies, but at least it didn't cross the river and get in range of Benzeridel's towers, which are currently completely untouched.
You see that the elixir count is pretty even across both players here, and Mega Knight once again being played out here on the left end. Miner is going to be there for defense, and see for Benzeridel if this works out against the Barbarian Hut that was coming through.
Yeah, Benzeridel with that defensive miner against the Royal Ghost is actually doing decent amount of work for him. He hasn't took any damage from the Royal Ghost so far, and that Mega Knight was very, very close to getting that charge off there.
Just to kind of retract back to that fireball that missed against the Inferno Dragon. I was a little bit surprised. I would have thought that the flying machine would have stayed alive if that fireball had connected onto the Inferno Dragon, but now once again back to even with obviously more and more elixirs on the moving count for Benzeridel to see if he can finish off this game.
Yeah, it's so close right now. Both players have taken next to no damage. This is a wonderful defensive display from both players at the moment. The Inferno Dragon doesn't get anything done. And look at that. That flying machine is just generating value right now as it finally goes down to the poison. And that miner, all the way from the back, makes it to get one spade onto that tower. We see another Barb Hut played right at the back for Rad.
Barb Hut, right now, that's going to be the answer from this scenario right here. And we're going to be looking towards the miner that will be targeting out the Barb Hut. Going to get good value for that 3 elixirs. And we're going to look at this Barbarian that will be targeted by the Royal Ghost coming from the south side. And look at this flying machine that's still caught up in this poison, takes all the damage in the world, and will now die out. This Royal Ghost finally gets a one single swipe, but you definitely want a lot more than that if you're Rad.
Oh, and the Magic Archer connects into the tower, gets 2 arrows off. Doesn't do much more than that. The Miner gets 2, 3 hits, almost 4, and the Bats there defending excellently for Rad, but slowly but surely Benzeridel is getting the better of these exchanges.
Yeah, all these little hits coming from the Miner, from the minion, anything that gets 1 hit at a time, while Rad gets none. And that just tells us in the end, as long as nothing big comes in from Rad, it should be a Benzeridel victory all in the end.
But this is, oh, beautiful Mega Knight timing there. perfect position, perfect timing, taking out the last two Barbarians from the Barbarian hut. As it charges into the cannon cart, the Flying Machine's going to clean that up, but the Mega Knight could have tanked quite a lot for the Miner, but it got taken down by the Flying Machine.
We'll see what happens here. The Flying Machine is still moving on. This cannon cart just trying to creep in at the end. The cannon cart connects.
Yeah, with the Royal Ghost as well. Oh my goodness.
The reset though, the zap reset, is that good enough?
It's 7 HP.
That's it.
Out of nowhere, Rad just manages to get a push.
Wow.
To just deal so much damage.
Incredible. That's it. That's the game, and basically no spells really required here. It's probably going to be a game over all the more, and it is going to be Rad through all of that. Benzer Riddle, one little mistake at the end, allowing that cannon cart to pass through. That was the difference, and he is not going to get the all clear this time around.
Yeah, it's we were not expecting Rad to be able to take down Benzer Riddle here, but he has. So, like, that was a defensive masterclass from both players for at least the first 2 minutes.
It wasn't Rad's game until the last 10 seconds. I mean, that cannon cart, if that hadn't squeezed through, it would have easily been a win for Benzer Riddle to just get this upset. And he's coming back from that 2v2 deficit. And we're going to have Careless come on the lineup, and hoping that he can make the mark to put that one win that is so necessary. It is the last opponent that they will face against Valve Gaming, meaning that any of Careless, or who was the last player? I didn't even see who was the last one. I think it was going to be JTV, right?
Yeah, it is JTV.
Careless or JTV, either of them have to just beat Rad. That's the only thing they need to do, and they should be in the clear to get this win right here.
Yeah, but Rad is looking at getting that reversal sweep.
Wow.
The reversal kill.
Oh.
Will he be able to do it? At the beginning of today, if you told me that Rad and Reiki Jones could have all killed, I'd have laughed in your face.
Well, Reiki Jones did that, but Rad doesn't seem to me kind of a guy that would do that.
Well, he started the comeback now. Will he be able to finish it? That's the question, as we see the Royal Ghosts pass each other, and another Miner on the defense there against the Royal Ghost.
You don't want to take free hits if you are looking at a blind Royal Ghost, and if you don't have a Tornado for it, as it was banned out. This situation where you have to kind of go something against the Royal Ghost. Doesn't matter if it's a defensive Miner, it doesn't matter if it's a Barbarian Barrel, anything will do here, anything works.
Yeah, the Hunter there takes out the minions, and a poison comes down on top of that tombstone. That's going to stop those skeletons, and Royal Hogs from Red. What does Careless have to answer? It doesn't have anything on that left-hand side. The right-hand side, the Ewiz manages to slow it down, but little bit of damage on each tower. The Inferno Dragon actually, that Inferno Dragon connects. 1898. My goodness, that was good connection for that Inferno Dragon.
Well, it was that Ice Golem that was trying to just poke out his head and trying to reel in that Inferno Dragon from the left side, but didn't work out. So they're going to force out these minions from the Barbaro that was just sent in blind.
Yeah, and the Hunter as well. They're just going to easily clean that out with one shot. There we go. 2066, got 1 or 2 minion hits in there. And the Inferno Dragon from Careless, will it be able to get similar value against the Hunter? It's a very iffy question because the Hunter deals so much damage.
You know that, today's games where it's going to be very, very good, between very closely matched sides. And I think that we're going to get 2 King of the Hills all sets here today, and all the games really needed to take the win.
Yeah, both games so far have been A-team games. Like, it's so close between the teams that we can barely settle the differences here. As that Miner from Careless actually got a lot of work done. 1385 on that top left-hand tower.
Well, Rad is here, kind of wondering, can he win this game? Because we thought that he might be the one, along with Reiki Jones, to pull off this impossible comeback, getting the reverse sweep for their team. And get the Royal Ghosts on the left side. They're going to reset the Royal Ghosts to target each other. So it's not going to be as much damage that would have been taken. This Miner still being much of a nuisance for the opponent now, and we're going to look at Careless to see in the lead. They get the win and really finish the deal. Chaos Theory picking the victory up against Valve Gaming.
Royal Ghosts, and there's the Royal Hogs. Will they be able to connect to the towers here? Will Rad actually pull off another surprise victory? We're going to have to find out. 3 Musketeers in the middle, taking all the poison in the world.
That is a... That's so much elixir lost. 4 elixirs for basically 9.
Yeah, but you know, the 3 Musketeers did take out a couple of units around the sides. So Miner comes in this time at the front, and it's going to hit the skeletons, and then 1 hit, 2 hits on the tower. 1130 on that top left-hand tower as a bar barrel comes in for Rad on that right-hand side. Is he going to get a hit? No, Poison comes down as well to take out the minions, making sure they do not get any extra damage on that right top tower. 3 Musketeers summoned in the middle. Poison again right on top. And that's going to do a lot of damage to them. But 2 of them escape. And they're almost free reign. The E-Wiz comes down and stops them dead.
1130, 1196 is going to be the count. And this Royal Ghost is helping out just a little bit as well. So all the more, the pigs are coming through, but really the Mega Knight is only on the right side. So they're going to take further damage with that 883 on the left. The Miner is here. The Musketeers are here as well, putting all the damage on. This, obviously, the Mega Knight will be doing a good job. But look at this, that minions.
Those minions got a lot of damage in. 114 remain, but there is 883 on Carolus' tower. And Red last time surprised us with a huge push right at the end. Will he be able to do it now? That is actually so much. Royal Hogs, Ghost, and the Poison, and the Barbarian. Is it going to be enough to finish that tower in time?
Oh,
I think it might be.
Tombstone. Gets rid
51, there's a Poison.
That's it. No, that's it. That's it.
It's over.
It is over. Careless. You did it, buddy. FOF Gaming lose another game, and here they are. Now secured themselves way below game width at this point.
Yeah. Carolus, they're just getting stuff done.
Wow.
Wasn't expecting that. Carolus hasn't been one of the star players on Chaos Theory. And, I mean, he's mainly used in 2v2, right, with JTV. And we've seen him beat Manong GP, Jai, and Sado in the King of the Hill.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have just looked at the sheet a bit more to see that he is this quality player.
Well, I mean, I didn't think he was going to beat Rad that easily there, but, you know, all the more. It's just one game that decides it all here, but
it did get very close as well.
It did, and Chaos Theory, look where they are now. They're way ahead of HQ, and HQ is falling just equally that far behind, and the team that was once great for Southeast Asia. We'll see what happens for them, but let's hear it from the interview from Chaos Theory.
First of all, congratulations to Chaos Theory for winning the match.
是的，那一样准备了3个问题要来进行访问。第一个问题是，战胜了 FAF Gaming 之后呢，现在的心情如何？
So there will be 3 questions. First of all, of course, after winning over FAF Gaming, how do you feel about that?
Habis menang lawan FAF Gaming rasanya gimana?
Ya, pertama-tama saya dan tim saya sangat mengucap syukur kepada Yang Maha Esa karena atas berkat dan tuntunannya sehingga kami bisa menang pada hari ini. Semua itu karena anugerah dan tuntunannya, bukan kuat hebatnya kita. Perasaan saya dan tim saya sangat bangga. Semoga pertandingan selanjutnya saya dan tim saya bisa memenangkan lagi.
So we're really appreciative and happy that we were able to get the win against FAF Gaming. It was really hard, and we're just very hopeful that in the future that we'll be able to continue winning.
那当然就是非常的开心啊，那其实是并不简单。那同时我也希望说未来能够继续保持这样的胜利的态势。
是的，那第二个问题的话，就是想要问到的是，赢下刚刚的对战，那也是让他们目前是稳坐了东南亚分区的冠军宝座。那现阶段的话呢，他们感觉怎么样？
After winning over the match, just back then, now you are the top #1 in SEA. So how do you feel about that?
Habis kita menang, yang ini dari season 1 kita dari bawah sekarang nomor 1, rasanya kayak apa?
Saya dan tim saya sangat bangga. Season 1 tim saya di bawah dan pada season 2 ini kita bisa naik lebih jauh karena juga ada masukan tim-tim lain dan kita juga kompak, kerjasamanya bagus dan kerja keras kita sungguh hebat.
So we're really happy that from season 1 we were last and now we're able to be first. We're all a much more compact team. We work really hard and we're just a lot more confident that we can win.
那 那非常的开心啊，因为在第一个赛季的时候，其实我们是就敬陪末座，但是现在的话，我们慢慢在往前，而且我们是相对小巧的，所以我们也希望能够继续下去。
是，那最后一个问题的话，就是想要问到接下来要进行的这个分区的循环赛，对于他们来说，现阶段最大的假想敌会是谁呢？
Now we'll have our division match again. So which team may be your potential challenger to you?
Abis ini kita mulai main tim divisi kita lagi. Mikiran kalian tim siapa yang paling sulit kita lawan?
Saya dan tim saya tidak memandang rendah tim divisi di tim kami. Saya dan tim saya itu menganggap semuanya kuat dan hebat.
So in our opinion as a team, we believe that actually it's pretty even, and all the teams in Southeast Asia are actually really hard to go up against. So that's our opinion.
那基本上的话，刚才讨论之后，我们的意见大概是大家实力都蛮坚强的，在东南亚战区，大家每个战队都很厉害，这是我们觉得大概的意见是这样子。
好的，那也是非常感谢 Chaos Theory 的访问，也再次恭喜他们今天拿下了胜利。那我们这边的话也是会为大家带来刚刚整场对战的 highlight， 稍作休息，等一下会马上回来哦。
And we are back.
That took a long time.
All right. What we can say is that Chaos Theory now have a big buffer between them and AHQ Esports.
You do. And
PONOS Sports have a huge buffer between themselves and FAF Gaming.
Have they never gotten rid of that? I mean, they've always had the buffer over everyone else, including everybody from Southeast Asia and from Korea. It doesn't matter. But I think the biggest achievement being kind of got by Chaos Theory is that they were the last team. They were the last place team in Season 1 from Southeast Asia, but they are now the best team, clearly, in Southeast Asia as a total. And Bren Esports is closely challenging them, but still in terms of wins and losses, these guys are looking good and very much on their way to a potential playoffs run.
Yeah, I mean, Benzeridel was one of the new players. Carolus as well, I think.
Yeah,
Carolus was there last season.
Carolus was new.
Carolus was new, Benzeridel was new. And suddenly the whole team changed. JTV was solid anyway last season, even though they weren't doing very well. And with these two pickups, suddenly Chaos Theory, they are looking strong enough to take games from anyone.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if, didn't think Chaos Theory was going to be the strongest team in Southeast Asia, but with this win in the last game of the conference edition, they do tell us that they are indeed the best. And we see them, and with the W over FAF Gaming, with PONOS Sports picking up yet another win against Bren Esports, still having the hard time to challenge these monsters that they are. And the standings will be very much upon us to see how they look like after all the cross-regional divisions that they play.
Yeah, once we go back to the conferences, once we go back to their homes, we're going to see fireworks between the teams, especially in the SEA region where AHQ, Bren Esports and Chaos Theory are still locked in a battle for first and second place to go to the finals.
And all of a sudden, HQ with those two losses yesterday seems so far away in terms of them getting that first place where it's necessary to be the top representative of Southeast Asia as they were in Season 1. Japan, it is so clear. PONOS Sports is first place. Game win is going to be the clear second place right now, way over FAF Gaming in terms of that one game win difference. And that does make a huge difference in the long run when you don't have that many games left.
I think they have 2 or 3 games left. I'm unsure. I can't
2
count
weeks.
Right now. 2 weeks, yeah. 2 weeks. I think FAF Gaming still have a very strong chance, but they have to overturn a huge difference when they have to play those games. And look at the Korean region going into these finals. I mean, it's pretty much decided between the teams.
Well, we're going to get the roster now. Taipei, Southeast Asia for our Friday action every Friday from here on for the next 2 weeks. And Saturdays will be the Korean days. And no more losing Korean teams. It's going to be some Korean teams winning and some Korean teams losing. Going to be all equal from now on. That feels good. And they're going to be coming in from Saturdays with Japan finishing off each of our last 2 weekends on Sundays, all at the same time here, and see what happens.
Look at that. Match 2 next Sunday. First versus second.
That is
Fav
a derby.
Gaming have 2 games. That will decide the Japanese group, in my opinion.
That's the Japan derby.
If GameWith loses and Fav Gaming can beat Detonation and GameWith, Fav Gaming go through. Easy.
But, you know, they do have one more week after this one, so we still need to pay attention as to what GameWith, what can they accomplish from all this, and it's going to be more about PONOS, how much they separate themselves from everyone else, and does not give over the wins over to these very important teams with GameWith and Fav Gaming from them as well. So the more and more PONOS wins, it's going to be about the other 2 teams where Fav Gaming and GameWith will be fighting to the edge to see if they can get to the playoffs in time.
Yeah, whoever goes against PONOS Sports is instantly getting a loss. So, I mean, if you're GameWith and Fav Gaming and you still have to play PONOS Sports, you're like, all right, well, we have to beat the other team to even stand a chance, because nobody is going to beat PONOS Sports right now.
But all the more, we are going to get Southeast Asia right back on Friday. So, you know, just a couple of days of break for all of us, and we will be back for more Clash Royale. Should be very, very fun to get the kind of the regionals back on together, because it's been a long time since we've seen that.
Yeah, so once again, SEA will be Friday. Saturday will be Korea. Sunday will be Japan. Korea, Kingzone actually have a similar buffer to to PONOS, even though they're only 5 and 6. Crazy.
Well,
crazy stuff.
From now on, Korea teams, not all 4 teams will have a losing record. One of the 4 should have a winning record from all of this after it's all said and done with. But that's going to be all of our action, guys, for this week in Southeast Asia for Japan for the last week of Conference Division. It's been very, very exciting, and we can't wait for next week to begin. Kind of 2 more weeks of regionals to decide what's going to happen for running up to the playoffs run. So this was Joe Sophie. Joining with me was Simon. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful few days of break before we are back. So have a great night, guys, and we'll be back on Friday for more Clash Royale.